I remember reading forums on like Reddit and all these different places of people being like, your anxiety will get better the sooner you stop trying to get rid of your anxiety and you start living your life. And I was like, shut up. You don't know anything about me and you're stupid. And then I did it and I was like, oh, damn it. Guys, today I'm sitting outside of my house on my porch and I'm making cloches. Basically, it's like a wire cage that sits on top of your plants. We have to do this out here because this year has been the year of pests. It has been the year of literally every single thing that could eating our garden. I'll actually post a video down in the description of the video that we're following. We've probably made like 15 of them so far. I need probably at least 6 more for today. I wanted to make today's video because if you are anything like me and you have experienced anxiety, you've gone through therapy, you've done medication, but you still feel like you're suffering with it and like you're having a lot of flare-ups, you're still not able to feel relaxed, you're still not able to just exist and enjoy life, I want to give you some of my best tips that I've learned over the years. I've been in therapy now for almost exactly 4 years straight. For the first 2 years, I did therapy up to 3 days a week. And then I went down to 2 days a week. And then I went to 1 day a week. And now I'm at every other week. So I also feel like I could probably go down to once a month or none at all at the point that I'm at in my life. That's a really insane feeling because for a long time I thought I'm gonna need to be in therapy for the rest of my life multiple times per week because I'm just not able to deal with life. I felt like if I could give you some of my symptoms, blurred vision, dissociating, derealization, depersonalization, which if you've never experienced any of those, God. So I want to start by saying if you are unaware of who I am or my story surrounding anxiety, I'm gonna link a couple of videos down below that will kind of give you a brief idea of what I've dealt with over the last few years. So I've had generalized anxiety disorder for probably since I was like 21. My mom died when I was 16 and then it slowly built over the years. I would not have said that I was much of an anxious kid, but I did get anxiety after my mom died. My anxiety mostly surrounds around health, so I get health anxiety or hypochondria. My therapist doesn't like the term hypochondria because there's a lot of negative connotations that come with it because a lot of people think of like, oh, you're such a hypochondriac, you know, but I get that. That's just like the perception of it. But what really set it off was becoming a mom. I experienced postpartum depression and anxiety, and that's what led me to get therapy to actually get help. Sometimes hey baby, what's the matter? Sometimes all it takes to be able to accept help and get help is realizing that you got someone else to take care of now and you got to get help. So that was me with my son. I was like, I can't do this anymore. So anyway, I started getting help, started getting therapy, and I felt like I was slowly getting better. I started on medication at the exact same time that I started therapy. So I got on escitalopram. I was really, just because a lot of my anxiety surrounds health, I was resistant for a really long time to medication. I did not want to get on SSRIs. That's just a part of the health anxiety for me. I was like, it's gonna make me worse, it's gonna make me crazy, it's gonna change my personality, it's gonna blah blah blah. So I did not want to do it for the longest time, and so I didn't. And then when I finally got to a point where I was like, I could no longer literally function, I could not sleep. I didn't sleep for like a week. I was really mentally ill. Like I felt like my world was coming to an end. It was like fight or flight, constant near panic attack for probably like 2 months. I probably went through that where I felt like the world was not real. I did not know what was up or down. Like I was absolutely unwell. And that was, now I've come to understand, I was just basically living in a state of fight or flight. My symptoms were everything. Constant rumination. I'm talking like I could not begin to understand how people did not overthink every single second of their day. Like I couldn't enjoy anything. I was living in a constant state of fight or flight. I felt like I was my heart palpitations all day long. My heart was beating out of my chest, nausea, vomiting, inability to eat, lightheadedness, brain fog, disassociating constantly, never feeling present or like I could connect to the moment, racing thoughts, a lot of intrusive thoughts. I mean, I did have suicidal ideation, not because I wanted to die, but because I wanted it to stop. Like I needed those feelings to stop. But like I said, I got help for the first few years. I felt like it was making a difference, but not a huge enough difference, but enough that I could sleep again and that I could get through the day. It took a lot to get me to the point where I could sleep again. And then I think it probably took about a year of being on lorazepam at night to be able to get me to sleep again. And then weaning off of that was difficult because I felt like I believed every thought that popped into my head, basically. If it was a negative thought, I believed it. If it was a positive thought, I didn't believe it. I felt like I was gonna be like that forever. I felt like this is my life now, and then I'm just living in this constant state of hypervigilance, overthinking everything. Like, that was just my reality. So started to get a little bit better as time went on, and I never felt fully better though. Like, I never felt like I was fully living my life, like I was fully in the moment, like I was fully present. I felt like there was always a little bit left. And so my mind was always telling me that this was because of the medication. The medication's just making me feel off, and that I'm gonna feel that way as long as I'm on SSRIs. I always wanted to blame the SSRIs. And so that was up until about January of this year. I just felt like this is as good as it's going to get while I'm still on medication. And that was a villainization of mental health medication, which if you are on them, you may be like me in that you feel, or you have felt in the past, like, I do not want to be on those. You'll hear how everybody talks about them. Everybody makes them sound like they're the worst thing, like you're going to be some kind of zombie. I will say that has not been the case for me, and I was super afraid of that happening. So just word wise, that did not happen to me. I made sort of a breakthrough this year when I was having a really hard January, because I was realizing I was never able to be present. I was not able to connect to my body, and I thought, God, this is just how I am now. I'm not able to be in my son's life. I'm not able to be present. I'm not able to experience life because I was living in a constant state of derealization and dissociation. In an act of desperation, I went on Google and I purchased something called the DP manual, and it has since changed my life. This is not sponsored. They do not know I exist. This is all I'm gonna do to this one. I'm just kind of closing up the top of it and making it like a little cage. This is not me selling you the DP manual, by the way, which if you do have derealization, depersonalization, or dissociation, highly recommend. But I purchased it myself. It was $100. I listened to the manual and it shifted my entire perspective that therapy, medication, and all the research that I had done kind of couldn't do, because it was telling me all the right things, but not giving me the one really big key that I find that was able to help me through the worst of my anxiety. And I'm gonna tell you what that is today. And it's so painfully simple that it is shocking, and it is not fearing anxiety. Now, if you have anxiety, if somebody tells you like, don't be afraid of it, you're like, okay, like you literally can't tell me not to fear it, because you don't know what you're talking about. Like, you're stupid for even mentioning that. Like, it's the hardest thing in the world. It is so scary to feel out of your freaking mind every single day. But I am here to tell you that I felt out of my freaking mind every single day until I listened to this DP manual, and it has literally changed my life. I have been more active, involved, present, and living my life since listening to this DP manual that I ever have in my entire life since my mom died. I cannot begin to describe you. Like, I feel a sense of weight lifted and relief that I couldn't begin to describe, because I stopped fearing anxiety. It's not that I don't have it necessarily anymore. I think anxiety is a part of my life that I will live with forever. It's a part of all of our lives that is there for a reason. Like, we experience anxiety not because we're disordered, but because it's a natural part of life to feel scared of things, and then your body gets into this state of, you know, nervous system dysregulation, and it's just what happens. Like, everybody experiences anxiety at some point in their life. It's when it becomes a disorder that it becomes a problem. And so there's so much that I can say about it, and this video is going to be long, but I want to say that when I stopped fearing anxiety, changed everything for me. And it's so much easier said than done, because you're like, what do you even mean? It's not that you won't have it, it's just that when you experience it, you meet it with a neutral attitude. You notice it, and you don't give it the power of fear. You don't go, oh my God, here we go again, and why am I feeling this way? It doesn't really matter why you're feeling this way. Like, obviously, I'm not talking about like if you just experience the death of a loved one, if you just experience something traumatizing, you need to address those underlying issues. Mine are made up scenarios, and I think a lot of people experience this. Mine are made up scenarios. Like, I'll feel a pain in my chest and I'll think, oh, I have breast cancer. And then my mind will start reeling, and then I will start feeling hyperventilating, and then I'll be like, I can't breathe. Why can't I breathe? And then the fear cycle starts, and it's just this absolute ridiculous ongoing cycle of fear of anxiety. It's fear of fear because it's the scariest feeling in the world and you don't want to experience it. So you hype up what anxiety is in your head, and then you fear anxiety itself. I don't really know how to tell you to stop doing it other than to say, when I stopped doing it, and it was kind of a difficult process, it was like I didn't even notice I wasn't fearing it anymore. I didn't even notice that I had been fearing anxiety so much because it was just a part of me. It was just a part of who I am as a person. One of the best tips that I learned in this DP manual is experience it, feel it, say, I have this right now. It's not going to hurt me. It's not going to kill me. It can't kill me. It can't hurt me. It's just an uncomfortable sensation. I notice what you're doing, body, but we're not going to do this right now. You can kind of talk to the anxiety. Like, I notice you. Thank you. We're not doing this right now. Do not Google. That's one of my best things. Do not Google your symptoms. Obviously, talk to a doctor, get to the root of everything, start medication if you need to. There are so many things that can help, and medication has absolutely helped me, and I was villainizing it for no reason. Once you've gotten to the root of all that and you're not realizing, man, my anxiety is just really, it's still there despite all the things that I've done, we're gonna carry on living our lives. And that sounds so much easier said than done. But I need you to understand, with everything that I could describe to you, I didn't believe I could either. And here I sit doing so much better than I ever thought I could. In the DP manual, one of the things that it suggests and has been extremely, extremely helpful for me is filling your time with anything other than thinking about anxiety. So my anxiety shows up in physical symptoms. I don't know if that's for you guys or if that's just it's kind of a me issue, but mine is physical. And then the physical brings on the thoughts. So I'll get like heart palpies and I'll be like, oh no, here it comes. Oh, and then I'm like, oh God, I feel nauseous. I don't feel good. Oh God. And then I'm like, here it comes. And then that's fear because I'm like, oh no. And here we go again. Since I stopped doing that, if I am having a particularly difficult day, let's say, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't feel good, I'm anxious, blah, blah. Accept the anxiety as it is. And then I go put that anxiety energy into something creative and productive. In the DP manual, he talks about, listen to some really good music, read a book, do pottery, do art, do something that will take a lot of brain power in a positive way. Not doom scrolling, not sitting around reading about health conditions, not Googling, not things like that. Specifically not things like that. Things that fill your time and your brain thought with anything other than anxiety-inducing things. And that has been such a game changer for my anxiety and being able to calm down for the first time in literally years. That's why I do so much pottery, y'all. That's why I'm constantly gardening, constantly doing things that are positive for my brain, that take a lot of energy and output. They take a lot of my brain space and they take a lot of effort, but in a really positive way, because I cannot ruminate when I'm doing pottery. My brain is on how to center this damn thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. So that has been one of the most life-changing tips that I have received. And it seems so painfully simple. You're like, okay, so you're telling me all I have to do is just do other things? Literally, yes. Because what you probably are doing, if you're anything like me, or anything like the literal hundreds of people that I've talked to and helped in my DMs on Instagram, is you're thinking about how to fix your anxiety all the time. And constantly thinking about how to fix your anxiety is anxiety. I don't know how to describe it in any other way than that. Constantly giving it the power gives it power. Constantly being like, oh no, I feel it, how do I fix it? Trying to fix it makes it worse. It's so effing bloody counterintuitive, but trying to fix anxiety gives you more. So saying, I'm not thinking about anxiety anymore. So much easier said than done, and it takes a lot of time. Takes a lot of time, takes a lot of practice, takes a lot of energy. You not only will have a cloche that you built, you not only will have pottery that you made, you not only will have a painting that you painted, you not only will have a new garden that you planted, or whatever the thing is that is positive that you did. You not only have 6 books that you read this month, but you will inadvertently, without even realizing it, lower your anxiety over time. You won't be able to ruminate because you will be so bloody filled with other things that you are doing that you won't have time to sit and think about every single thought that pops in your head. And I think it was Doc Amen who originally said, a really good way to help anxiety is don't believe every thought that pops into your head. Don't believe every stupid thought that you have. Yes, you don't even have to think about your thoughts. If you have a thought, they say to think of it like a leaf. You set it on the top of the water, you let it float away. Sometimes I'll just be like, that was a weird thought. Okay. And then I just carry on living my life. It sounds so much easier than it actually is to implement. But if you do it and you stick to it, it will help. There's no way it can't help. How could channeling that negative energy into positive things ever not work? The last thing that any of us should do, and the things that I was doing is I would feel a symptom, I would Google the symptom, I would sit there and ruminate how to fix anxiety, how to stop derealizing, how to stop dissociating, how to be present, how to stop depersonalization, that is signaling to my brain, whether I like it or not, that my anxiety is taking over my life, my anxiety is controlling me, that I am still unwell and untreated and I'm still in the process of healing. I also had this feeling that I couldn't shake, and it was that if I was on medication, I'm not fixed. I'm not fixed if I'm on medication. I need to be off medication and then stable to be able to be well. And so this entire time, I felt like I've got to get off these SSRIs and then I'm healed. And then I listened to the DP manual. And one of the chapters was titled like SSRIs. And I was like nervous to listen to the chapter because I was like, oh my God, he's going to say SSRIs cause derealization. SSRIs cause depersonalization. He's going to say that I have to get off of them because they're going to make me worse. He's going to say blah, blah, blah. There was one of the chapters titled sparkling water or like seltzer water or something. And I was like, oh my God, he's going to say that I should stop drinking so much sparkle water. No, he not only doesn't say that, he's like, meds are very helpful. Very helpful. If you can get on medication, it's super helpful. Drink a ton of sparkling water. It's very good for you. Doesn't matter. Like the way he doesn't villainize anything in it. And I know I've talked about this DP manual. It literally feels like I'm selling you an MLM of trying to get you on it. I make nothing from it, and he doesn't know I exist. Literally, this guy does not know I exist. It's just helped me on such a fundamental level that I'm giving you some of the information in here for free. You don't have to buy it, but I'm saying it was the way I was able to like get over the hump of being like, maybe it's not the SSRIs causing this feeling. Maybe it's thinking the SSRIs are causing this feeling. Do you know what I'm saying? Like thinking the anxiety is coming from wearing Crocs. I didn't think that, but I'm just saying, then every time you put them on, you're like, I can't feel it. If you're anything like me, that's how it is, but that's not real. That is placebo. Placebo is real. The reason that they measure studies from like, they take a literal actual medication and they test it against placebo. They wouldn't do that if placebo didn't work. Placebo is sometimes better than the medication. And placebo is nothing but your brain. So that tells you you can make yourself sick or you can heal yourself with your brain. Otherwise, placebo wouldn't even be a thing. Placebo is the most insane thing in the entire world. You can create your own hellish reality by just thinking it is. Or you can say, I'm out of this loop now. I'm not doing this anymore. And it's not your fault. And I'm not mad at you, brain. I'm not mad at you. But I'm not going to play this game anymore. And I'm going to break the cycle. And by telling yourself, we're done with this, carry on. Since doing this, I don't know, I think I've been doing this since January, February. I'm not sure when I talked about the DP manual for the first time. I posted a video about it back then, but I haven't talked about it since. My life has been richer than it has been in the last few years. I feel a peace that I have never felt before because I just know it's okay. I wasn't living my life. I wasn't able to live my life or even enjoy my life because I was feeling like, oh no, here it comes again. I'm derealizing again. I had to stop fearing it. And the DP manual was able to, the way his wording went just helped me so much. And so I wanted to tell you today that is one of my biggest tips, not fearing the feelings. The feelings are there because we fear them. And you're gonna feel them. Even if you feel like I'm totally healed and I'm better and I'm fine. One day you're gonna be like, oh no, why do I have anxiety again? And now when I feel it, I go, there it is again. Pretty reasonable. Just gonna carry on. I'm gonna go do something else. I'll go do pottery. I'll go bike ride. I'll go do, no, fill in the blank. You can fill it with anything. Make a lampshade. Do a craft. Crafting is very helpful, I find, because you're keeping your hands busy and your mind busy. And if you like listen to a book while you're doing it, or if you watch a really good video, watch The Great British Bake Off, watch The Office, just watch a good show, just have on like good vibes while you're doing something creative that takes your brain space, bro, it's like life-changing. And I know this sounds painfully simple, but it is simple, unfortunately. And I remember every time I was looking up like how to cure anxiety, how to fix anxiety, all that kind of stuff, I remember reading forums on like Reddit and all these different places of people being like, your anxiety will get better the sooner you stop trying to get rid of your anxiety and you start living your life. And I was like, shut up. You don't know anything about me and you're stupid. And then I did it and I was like, oh, damn it. It's so true. So I'm not trying to sell you anything by this. I'm trying to simply tell you that they were right and I'm mad at them about it. No, I'm not mad. I'm actually so thankful that that is something that is able to be purchased, like that information is out there and that somebody is able to help. And I want to like hug the creator of the DP manual and just be like, you literally don't understand. This shit saves lives. Like, I felt like my life was never gonna be normal again. And I'm gonna go through ups and downs. I'm a human being. I get it. Like, we go through stuff. But most of my anxiety was of my own doing. I have a few other videos on this topic on my channel, and I also have, I will link some other videos down below that are very beneficial that I have found help with, specifically from that channel. I would say that's one of the best channels that I've ever seen for it, because what the hell? I will say therapy is super helpful. I do personally feel like I got better when I started doing less therapy. For myself personally, the more I focused on myself and my feelings and my emotions and my ailments and my problems and my this and my that, it's almost like I couldn't get fully better when I was constantly self-focused. I needed to be focused on something else other than Kristi. That was a big problem of mine, is that I was so self-focused that I could not get better, because all I was thinking about was me, get better. And so when I slowed down on therapy, I just because I thought the key would be like, oh, I'm doing worse again, let's do more therapy. And I got to a point where I was like, maybe I'm talking about myself and my feelings too much. And then I slowed down on therapy, and that was a big help for me. I was like, oh, I'm doing too much. I'm talking about myself too much. I'm constantly thinking about, how do I feel? What caused this? What caused that? And I do believe therapy is an absolutely amazing tool, and it is a huge privilege to be able to do. However, I do think that there's a time and a place, and I think that there can be too much. And even my therapist agrees that some people can do too much therapy, and then it can kind of do the opposite, especially when there's somebody like me who the self-focus causes the issues. When I think too much about how I feel, it's just like, it's too much. So I do find that doing for others significantly helps me personally. Doing for other people, getting out, making things for other people, helping other people, talking about anything else other than anxiety. And that is a major helper for me. So that's really all I wanted to say for today's video. This is already getting kind of long, but I wanted to just say, you know, even if you feel like your recovery process from anxiety has been painfully long, there will be a thing that can click. You know, I've done regular therapy, I've done EMDR, I did so much EMDR. And I do feel like it did help me for sure. But I think the biggest helper for myself personally has definitely been the DP manual, because it was what I needed to hear to get myself from being so incredibly self-focused to being like, okay, we've got the anxiety mostly under control. Now we're gonna get out and we're gonna live our life. We're gonna start traveling. We're gonna start going places that make us nervous. We're gonna start, I'm not a socially anxious person, so that's fortunate that I don't have that. I don't get nervous around people or doing things. It's mostly like made up scenarios that make me scared. I just feel like once I actually started living my life and started doing and filling my time with really positive things, I wasn't able to worry so much about the things that I've kind of made up in my mind. And I was able to live for like the first time, and it feels really freaking good. That's pretty much it for today's video. I hope this helps you in any way. If it does, please let me know. I'm gonna have some resources and some information linked down in the description of this video because, you know, it's been helpful to me. So I wanna share that with you guys because we don't have to be stuck in our own brains. It doesn't have to be like this. We are worthy of living good lives, and there's gonna be something that clicks for you. You just have to find that thing. And for me, the DP manual is what got me out of my own head and got me into living my life. It totally sounds 1000% like if I was watching this video and I didn't know, I'd be like, you are selling me that. You are a liar. You are an MLM salesperson. You get commish off of this, don't you? No, I didn't. I just simply want to help you because I just wanted somebody to help me, and I feel like nobody was there to help me. And the only way I ever found the damn DP manual was Googling frantically, trying to have any help whatsoever. And I typed in like depersonalization help, like please help me, anybody help me. And it popped up on Google, and thank God it did, because it has been an absolute lifesaver for me. I'm sorry that you deal with anxiety. I know it, I feel it. Stop watching the news. You don't need to know everything right now. No Googling. Google is not your friend. It's not even kind of your friend. Ask your doctor for help, not Google. Google can't help you. Google can't tell you what's wrong with you. Google doesn't know you, and it's not a safe thing for an anxious brain. It's just not. Medication helped me significantly, and I thank God for it. I feel like I villainized it for no reason, and that was just fear. It was just fear making me feel like it was going to change me. It hasn't changed my personality at all. In fact, it has made my personality better because I'm less anxious and I'm less annoying to be around because I'm not freaking constantly ruminating about literally every single thing. Like, chill, bro. We deserve to live a good life, and we don't have to let fear control us. And that's all I have to say. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that it helps you in some way, and I will see you at my next video. Bye. Just thought I would show you guys what I was making so that you can, like, you know, yeah, there you go.